Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the first prelim fight for the fight card this weekend. We have UFC 298. If you guys aren't keeping track, we have an amazing winning record when it comes to the UFC right now. I think we're at 67, 68% on the money line. It's different in the UFC because you have to identify odds and understand how fighting works before you want to try to bet on it. I'll try to help you as best I can, but remember, I'm not a gambler. I just do analysis on fights. So the first prelim of the night is Andrea versus Miranda Maverick. This is a really good matchup to start a card. Like, early prelims should usually be a bunch of people we've never heard of, people making a debut, people from a foreign country you can't pronounce. That is not the case here. These are two American girls who have fought a ton in the UFC, like a ton. So starting off with name recognition is important. Shout out to them. But you've got two people on different trajectories. You got Andrea having lost, I think she's lost 4 out of her last 6 fights. No, 6 out of her last 8 fights. That's right. 6 out of her last 8. Look at that. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. She won 2 and on another 3-fight losing streak. Okay? And on the flip side, Miranda Maverick is always kind of winning, always in the fight. And if you ever watch Miranda Maverick fight, you cheer for her because you want her to be great. The biggest issue I have with Miranda Maverick is she just never quite gets there. She has low fight IQ. She gets in the ring, in the cage, and she just makes mistakes that you shouldn't make. She'll be winning the fight and not do what her strengths are, right? So in this particular fight, both of them, their strength is grappling. It really is. Now, Miranda Maverick, by and large, has better wrestling and grappling. Remember, grappling is a combination of wrestling and submissions. Shout out to jiu-jitsu and wrestling. But Andrea can actually strike a little, but she's better on the ground, I think, and she just doesn't have an advantage there when she gets on the ground. So in that aspect alone, you have to believe that Miranda Maverick is the pick in this fight. She is a minus 196 favorite. I think it's an absurd number, just so we're clear. I think she belongs in the 150 range, but 196 felt way too high. So when you look at the chart, and I'll bring it in the screen here, I put her down as the favorite. I got her money line, but it's 190, bro. It's 196 now. I mean, this is an absurd number. I apologize. I'm trying to adjust, and I can't see my keyboard because it's under my desk. It's not the same as if I was typing. Nonetheless, 196. I still like Miranda Maverick money line, but I won't put it a lock. Please don't parlay this with a bunch of stuff. Just leave it alone. It's like that. Now, if you wanted to bet this, I'm going to show you guys how you bet this fight. You can take the 196 because you know it's money line, and you can parlay it with stuff, but I just told you not to do that. More power to you. You get juice on this thing. But here's where we go. Is it going to go the distance? I believe it is. Third decision fighters, Miranda Maverick, even if she does lose, she's never been finished. You see here her losses. Decision. Never been finished. She's tough as hell. She's strong. She's like a Viking almost, right? She's tough. And when you see her losing, who did she lose to? Jasmine Jazz the Vicious, the Canadian girl, straight grappler, can do nothing else but wrestle, and she got out-wrestled. You lose a decision. Erin Blanchfield, another wrestler. Macy Barber, I rock with Macy, so shout out to her. But it was a very dominant win. And look, I don't want to get into this, but Andrea probably beat Macy Barber right here. This is a split decision. I think they gave it to the wrong person. But when you start looking at Andrea and who she's fought really good fighters. That's that Natalia Silva last week, who was our lock of all locks. And she lost to her. No big deal, and in a unanimous decision. But she's lost to pretty good fighters. Respectable fighters. She's fought a really good card since coming to the UFC. Really good people. So I feel like it's good competition. She's not a fish by any means, but the juice is on Miranda. The UFC wants her to win fights. They want her to be the future of MMA. Miranda is very presentable. You can sell her. She's pretty, whatever it is. I like Miranda all day long. She never quite got it right. Now, she has changed camps recently. You see it up here, right? The Elevation Fight Team. The minute she changed camps, she got in better shape. She started taking serious. Now they talk about how she's a full-time MMA fighter. And all those things reflect and show in the cage. I think Miranda Maverick wins this fight. I think she's dominant. Wrestling, it'll be boring. You guys, there's going to be nothing worth talking about during this fight. This will not be a 50K fight. You won't see anybody just swinging and slugging it out. If you do see striking and they're on the feet and they're doing this sparring match, Miranda Maverick's making a mistake. because her strength is wrestling. She needs to get there. She needs to get the takedown. I don't care what kind of takedown defense you have. She needs to get it. And Andrea Lee on the other side, if she's striking, well, she's just one of those shadow boxers. She looks like a striker. She does all the right things in the locker room and maybe even at practice and sparring and everything. But the minute you get in that cage, she's just doing these weird shadow boxing combos. And what I mean by that is you're never in the pocket close enough to do damage. You'll throw this combo out there and you're throwing it from projectile range as opposed to striking range, right? So I'm not impressed with Andrea Lee. I don't see her path to victory. So I'm going with Miranda Maverick. But I'm telling you, Andrea Lee's fought really good competition and took them to decision. So you can go to decision, and once you go to decision, who knows what these judges are doing. Now, I think Miranda Maverick's going to have pressure, going to be moving forward, i.e. octagon control, and make the judges look like, or convince the judges that it looks like she's been dominating and winning the fight the whole time. So I like Miranda Maverick. Please don't let me down. Go win it, girl. Let's start the night off with a win. But it's still a lean and not a lock. Now remember, our leans actually have a better record than our locks. So if you're going to bet on something, just some food for thought. On leans, I'm 14-5. Might want to bet them. Learn how to do your parlays and put it together. I'm going to have parlay and prop ideas in here by the time I finish all the fights. So pace yourself. Don't waste all your money on the first 3 or 4 fights and go, man, Rico, we really ain't hitting tonight. You're ridiculous. Also, don't wait for the main events to start putting all your money on stuff. You're ridiculous. Strategize. Pick about 3 or 4 really good ones on the card that you think you can be advantageous on. I want to show you guys something. I'm 62% on the season. But 69, 66, and 58 for the last 3 cards, last 4 cards, 7. We don't count that first one because we did that one on the road. We didn't really do analysis like this on every single fight. That first one was just talking in the wind, okay? I actually did that while I think I was on vacation, and I didn't look at a single one of the fights. I just went like this. Hey, I think that guy's winning, that guy's winning, that guy's winning. And on my worst day, I'm above 50%, just so we're clear. Okay, but you got to be careful. How do you want to do it? There's no reason for you guys to take all these losses, these 4 and 5 losses that I'm taking. There's no reason for you to bet on every single fight and take these losses. But what's stopping you from being 4-0? What's stopping you from picking 4 of these fights and getting them all right? That's all I'm saying. We're going to hit. The majority of my decisions will be, or the majority of my picks will be correct. Pick the right ones, y'all. Good luck. Some MVPs are better than others. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace.